For today, we're playing Call of Duty Warzone with the Rog Ally, and we'll start it up at 1080p at a mix of low and medium settings. And here we are with that. There we go. Now before the game starts, this game has a weird anti-cheat with the Rog Ally, where if you change your TDP or use the in-game overlay, the game will give you a ban. So if you want to go from 30 watts down to 15, just make sure that you quit the game first and then do it. If you do it mid-game, the game will shadow ban you. So keep that in mind. Alright, I'm jumping down. For our VRAM, we're sitting at 5.5 gigs, and system RAM's at almost 10 gigs. The game is stuttering quite a bit as well. That's kind of unfortunate. I am the worst Warzone player on controller, but I will do my best. Yeah, the game is very stuttery so far, but FPS wise, we are sitting in the 60s. Man, the game is super stuttery. What's up with that? It's not too bad for MP, but yeah, in Warzone, it's having a bad time, I guess. And the scoreboard glitch is still here. As you can see with the map or the scoreboard, the game will stutter. That's a weird bug that goes around with every version, even on a proper desktop. So yeah, this game isn't properly optimized, I don't think. It was decent at launch, but it keeps getting worse and worse. So yeah, FPS wise, it does play decently well, again in the 50s and the 60s, but the stuttering is quite aggressive so far. It's happening like every second, I think, or every 2 seconds. So yeah, let's pause it here, guys, enable FSR and see if that helps at all. And now for FSR, let's use FSR 2.1 and let's use the balance preset. And now with FSR, we are sitting in the 70s. So yeah, slight FPS bump. Let's go outside. And now in the 70s still, almost the 80s pretty much. And falling down here. Yep, we are still in the 70s. So yeah, a decent FPS bump from what, the mid 50s to now the 70s. It's quite good. And for the VRAM, still at 5.4 gigs. And system RAM is now down to 8.6 gigs. Again, the main issue is the stutters. That's not going away so far. But FPS wise, the game is playable. The game is still stuttering, unfortunately. I did go ahead and redo the shaders, by the way, and it hasn't helped. The game is still stuttering quite heavily. I'm guessing it's the memory that's causing it to stutter, but I'm not too sure on that yet. But yeah, overall, the game is a stuttery mess. I can't play like this at all, to be honest, even if I had a keyboard and mouse. We are sitting... Oh, hello. Let's go. The first kill of the video. It took like 30 minutes to get it, but I did get my first kill just then. That is fantastic. I want to thank the guy who gave me the kill, as he wasn't trying. And yeah, for the FPS, in the high 70s indoors, and with the stutters, it comes down into the 60s and the high 50s. Oh, okay, you gotta be kidding me, dude. Teammate, please. He's cracked. Teammate. Okay, I think he's playing on his Steam Deck with his aim. Okay, while we're here, let's bring FSR down to FSR 1.0. And let's use the balance preset. The game loves spawning me here, so I can die to the same guy over and over again. But I'm gonna go over here and hopefully be safe. You can't make this up. You cannot make this up. Who killed me? Let me see. Wow, look at the FPS. 40? Really? This is a glitch, I think. Yeah. 49 to 50. I'm gonna go double check the FSR settings. Okay, it disabled it. Nice work there, Activision. Okay, there we go. Now it's active properly. And FPS wise, we are sitting in the high 70s and the high 60s. For the graphics, a bit worse than before, especially in the distance. Up close, it's a bit worse, but it's far more obvious, again, in the distance. So yeah, personally for me, I would choose FSR 2. The game looks much better, and FPS wise, it's quite similar. Again, in the high 60s and the mid 70s. I think Warzone 2 was quite good on the Steam Deck. It was mostly at 60, and I don't think it had any stutters. But the new Warzone apparently is just not liking the ROG Ally. Second game on, now at 15 watts. FPS is down into the 30s, even the high 20s here. Okay, the mid 40s indoors. How many stairs? Please. Okay, we're here finally. Okay, let's back out, guys, and play at 100p at 30 watts. And hopefully we have a more stable experience. Alright, playing at 100p at 30 watts. Alright, landing down, FPS wise, in the low 60s and the mid 50s. Quite good. And the stutters are doing better. Not too bad actually. Oh, it's back. I felt that one for sure. It does feel quite playable at this point. I won't lie. It does stutter, keep that in mind. It hasn't gone away fully, but it's happening far less often than before. No way from behind, dude. So for the graphics, it does look quite nice. It's still very sharp and very clear. I think for the ROG Ally, wow, thank you for that. Yeah, I think for the ROG Ally, you can play at 900p, and the game will look as good as 1080p pretty much. At 720p, it's a bit softer than normal, but overall, quite usable as well. And if I enable FSR, we are sitting in the high 70s and the mid 60s. And our GPU is sitting at the high 80% usage and the mid 90% usage. So it does get bottlenecked at times, but overall, it does quite well still. And now playing at 15 watts. Alright. Oh, someone already here, I think. Wait, are they? Yeah, they are. I think I'm good. I'm out of here. I hit him 3 times. That's plenty. No guns out here so far. But the game is playing decently well. FPS-wise, in the 40s and the 50s. But can't feel any stutters yet. And overall, the feel feels quite decent. So the game is playable so far at 15 watts. I'm going to come down here. And down here, yep, still in the high 40s and the 50s. There was our first stutter right there. But so far, I think the sweet spot is 900p. The game looks fantastic, and the stuttering is still there, but it's not as bad as before. Let me try this out real quick. FSR 1.0. And yeah, it's good enough, I think. Apply it. Okay, I think it's bugging out again. Come on, Activision. Apply it again. There we go. And there we have it. And now sitting in the mid 50s here. Ooh, even the 60s, guys. So yeah, there we go. If you want to play at 15 watts, use FSR 1.0. It gives you an extra 5 to 10 FPS on top of FSR 2.0. And lastly, playing at 720p at 30 watts with FSR active as well. So I think at this point, we're going too far down in resolution. So we should see a decent CPU bottleneck here. And yeah, down here, guys, we're sitting in the high to low 80% usage and up into the low 90% usage. And FPS-wise, in the high 70s and the 80s. And the stutters are still here. Unfortunately, it hasn't fully gone away. And it does happen every couple of seconds like before. So yeah, try the game out. See if the stutters are happening for you as well. If not, then obviously the game is playable. But if your game is stuttering like mine, then obviously it's a bit hit or miss. So it might not be playable for you. And yeah, FPS-wise, again, in the high 70s and the mid to high 80s. So yeah, quite good. And the graphics are still quite sharp and quite usable. And lastly, playing at 15 watts. Let's see what we can do. FPS is falling down into the 40s here. And back up into the mid to low 50s. Decent, almost the 60s here. And the graphics are looking quite good as well. Again, a bit softer, but overall quite usable. The first thing is the anti-cheat. If you change your TDP, for example, you will get banned for it mid-game. And finally, the stuttering is very annoying. But here's the thing, it could be just my system that's having this issue. So try the game out, see if it's laggy or not, and if it's not, then it can be playable for you. And ideally, I would pick 900p and play at a mix of low and medium settings with FSR 2.0 active at 30 watts. And at 15 watts, use FSR 1.0. So yeah, that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time, next video. See you guys there.